everyone, if you've been thinking about moving to the DC area, but you aren't quite sure if living near the city is going to be the right fit for you, there are two areas in nearby Virginia that may be a good fit. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the key differences between Alexandria and Arlington. These two areas are often top contenders for buyers who want to be close to, but not quite in the city. And while these two areas are neighbors, they each offer something a little bit different. So in this video, I'm going to focus on the key differences between Alexandria and Arlington, and that's going to be everything from commute times to home prices, schools, parks, and more. Hopefully this comparison will help you figure out which one might be the right fit for you, whether you're planning on buying a home, renting, or if you're just curious about these neighborhoods. Before we continue, I'm Krystal Walker with Ask a Walker. In these videos, we cover everything there is to know about living in Northern Virginia. And if you have a question, you can feel free to drop that right down in the comments. If you're ready to take the next step in your home buying journey, just click the link in the description to schedule your perfect home consultation. We'll meet one-on-one to discuss your plans, your timeline, budget, and anything else that'll help make your next move a smooth one. All right, so let's jump right in and start with the commute. Both Arlington and Alexandria are great options for those commuting into DC. But when it comes down to it, you'll want to think about convenience and the time spent in traffic. Arlington being just across the river from DC is definitely going to be close to the city. You can easily hop on the metro. Arlington actually has lots of metro stations, including some major ones like Roslyn, Clarendon, and Boston, which are just a short drive away from downtown DC. Its proximity to DC also means that Arlington has faster and more direct access to job centers in DC, particularly if you work in downtown. However, Arlington's popularity can mean brutal traffic. The roads, especially during rush hour, can be packed. And don't get me started talking about the Key Bridge into DC. It's a mess. But if you're using a metro, you're in luck because Arlington's metro stations are some of the most convenient in the region. Now, Alexandria, while still very close to DC, is going to be a little bit farther out, but that doesn't mean it's inaccessible. If you live near Old Town, you're just a short hop onto the King Street metro station, and nearby Mount Vernon Trail makes for a beautiful scenic bike ride into DC. Now, if you're living in areas like Eisenhower Avenue or further south near Fairfax County, commuting by car into DC can be a bit more challenging, especially if it's during rush hour because traffic can back up very quickly. But honestly, no matter where you live in Northern Virginia, you're going to be dealing with traffic. That's just part of the deal when you live near DC. But in terms of commute convenience, Arlington has a slight edge, but Alexandria has its fair share of great options too, especially if you're a bike commuter or if you prefer a more relaxed pace. All right, now a little bit more on public transportation. Both Alexandria and Arlington are well served by both the metro and buses in the area, but there are going to be some differences here too. Arlington definitely wins on public transportation, hands down. With the large number of metro stations and more frequent access to those metro lines, it's super convenient if you don't want to drive. Plus, Arlington's bus system is really well connected with the metro. So whether you're commuting into DC or heading to Tyson's Corner or just getting around Arlington itself, you have lots of great options. Alexandria, on the other hand, is not quite as metro heavy, especially outside of Old Town. The King Street Trolley is a nice perk in Old Town, offering a free and fun way to get around, especially if you want to visit the waterfront or the shops. But the farther out you live in Alexandria, the less public transportation you'll have available. So if you rely heavily on public transportation, you may find Arlington to be a slightly better choice. All right, let's talk about housing and the cost of living, which is of course a huge factor for anyone when they're moving. Parts of Arlington have a more urban feel. It's dense and heavily developed, and because of its proximity to DC, you're definitely going to pay a premium for that. The median sales price is around $740,000, but that number could be a bit misleading. See, Arlington has a huge number of condos, which artificially bring those numbers down. Single-family homes in Arlington are in high demand and typically come with a higher price tag. If you're interested in a detached home, the median sales price skyrockets to nearly $1.3 million. For a large home with a yard and a decent-sized lot, you may be looking at a starting price around $1.5 million, especially if you're eyeing neighborhoods like Lion Village. Condos and townhomes in Arlington tend to have higher costs as well. And if you want something with the view of DC, get ready to pay a lot more. Now on the flip side, in Alexandria, in 2024, the median sales price was $685,000. A bit lower than Arlington. But once again, that includes all property types, including condos and townhouses. But when you look at detached homes, the median price is just shy of $1,140,000. Not cheap by any means, but still a considerable savings when you compare it to Arlington. While home prices in Arlington have been on a rise, in general, you're going to find more options for single-family homes with a slightly lower price than Arlington. In Alexandria, you're going to get more space for your money. Plus, Alexandria has a ton of historic homes. So if you're into charm and character, this is where you want to be. Now, for families, of course, schools are going to be top of mind. In Arlington, the public school system is excellent. Arlington consistently ranks among the top school districts in the state. And there are a few sought-after schools here, particularly those serving North Arlington. Yorktown and Washington Liberty High Schools and the lower-level schools within those districts are top tier, with many home buyers limiting their search to schools just within those zones. If you have school-age kids and want to be in a district with an outstanding reputation, Arlington schools might be a draw. Now, Alexandria schools are also good, but the rankings can be a little bit less consistent. Alexandria's public schools, especially in the city itself, can sometimes be overshadowed by those in Arlington. Alexandria is a relatively small city, which means it only has one public high school with several lower level schools that feed into it. Alexandria City High School is well respected and has a pretty good reputation within the community, but when you have the entire city going to one school, that sort of limits your options. The population of the school has gotten so big that they recently had to open a second building nearby. Now that's a bit confusing to me because it's literally an entire second school rather than opening a separate school. For younger children, the smaller, more community-focused feel of Alexandria schools can be a plus. If you're specifically looking for a district with a variety of programs and opportunities, both cities have something to offer, but Arlington edges out Alexandria just a little bit here. Now, when it comes to entertainment and things to do, Arlington is more of a go, go, go city, while Alexandria tends to offer a more relaxed vibe. In Arlington, you're living in the heart of the action. Areas like Clarendon, Ballston, and Roslyn are packed with trendy restaurants, bars, and nightlife. It's a great place if you're into lively and youthful entertainment, where you can walk to happy hour after work or check out the latest spots for brunch. Plus, Arlington is also home to a handful of monuments and historic sites, as well as a number of parks and trails. When the sun sets in Arlington, nightlife really comes alive. On the other hand, Alexandria is known for its charming waterfront and Old Town, offering more laid-back dining and historic experiences. You can stroll down King Street, pop into antique shops, or head to the waterfront for dining with a view of the Potomac. Alexandria has a very different energy than Arlington, more cozy and quaint and less fast-paced, but just as enjoyable, especially if you love a more relaxed evening out. And when it comes to parks and outdoor space, both cities have something to offer. Arlington shines here with over 180 parks and green spaces. It was even ranked as having one of the best park systems in the country. So whether you're looking for places to run, bike, or just enjoy being outdoors, Arlington has a ton of options. I personally love Gravelly Point, where you can watch planes take off and land at Reagan National Airport. Alexandria has fewer parks than Arlington, but still has some lovely spots, especially along the river. The Mount Vernon Trail is a local favorite for biking and walking, and you'll find some beautiful, quieter parks throughout the city as well. It's a great place for people who want to feel connected to nature, but also want the option to live in a more urban area. So to wrap it up, Arlington is perfect for those who want a faster pace, more urban vibe with excellent public transportation, top-tier schools, and a little bit closer proximity to DC. Alexandria, on the other hand, is more relaxed with historic charm, a slightly lower cost of living, and a cozy community feel. It's great if you want a more laid-back atmosphere, but still want to be close to DC. Both areas have their pros and cons, and it ultimately depends on your personal preference. But which one wins you over? What do you think? Are you more of an Arlington type, or does Alexandria's charm draw you in? Let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for more info, or if you need help making a decision, feel free to reach out by clicking the link in the description to schedule your perfect home consultation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.